you know, you said you outside, but you ain't that outside, you know. Wear by a hoodie with the mask outside. So, we outside, okay? We outside. Beyonce said be outside, so we outside. There's ways you can jazz it up, dress it up, or, you know, you could just be on your chill, your cozy vibes, you know what I'm saying? If you want to be cozy. Hello, Divine Family. It's your girl, Nerese. Back at it with another video, and if you can tell from the title, we are going to be talking about the singles on Renaissance. I'm excited about this video, so let's get into it. So before I really dive into my review of the singles, I'll just say I am doing a review of the album. Just like Beyonce's waiting to drop the visual album, I'm waiting to drop my review of the album. Just because I didn't want to initially do it when everybody was talking about it. Like, I didn't want to do a reaction video because honestly, y'all would not have liked my reaction video. The Beehive would have came for me. Because there was a lot of songs that had to grow on me. Or just certain songs where I just wasn't like, you know, I was like chill. I was in listening mode. Like, as a musician, sometimes you know, you really got to listen for the songs and hear out all the different parts and the harmonies and stuff like that. So I wasn't like one of those people that was going to give you all like a hyped up type of reaction, you know. And for me, what I realized is that I enjoy breaking down the songs and really getting into the nitty gritties of like the harmonies and the lyrics and you know, and to do reviews like that, you really have to live with a project for a while. So the album came out at the end of July. It's like almost the end of September now. So I definitely had some time to live with the album. I have my favorite records and stuff like that. So, and it gave me a time to kind of like revamp my opinions on some of the songs. Like I said, some of the songs grew on me. And certain songs where I might not have paid attention first listen, I listened to it again. I'm like, you know what? I actually like this song. So it gave me a chance to really live with the album and be able to give an honest review of it. Because if I'd have just reviewed it when I first heard it, you know, video is forever. And then that'd have just been, you know, a recording of what I felt in that initial moment rather than, you know, being able to digest the project. Because, I mean, it took Beyonce years to make. So, you know, and with art, you put your heart and, you know, blood, sweat, and tears into it. And, you know, a lot of people just like to do these quick videos. They just try to sell a bunch of little quick singles and they burn out. You know, just to jump on the wave of everybody talking about Beyonce. And I consider doing that because I know that probably would have benefited my page to put out a video when everybody was talking about it. Which I kind of will do, but I want to make sure my content is true to me, true to my word, and I'm giving it an honest review. And, you know, and I want to do it with integrity and not just because everybody's talking about it or it's the hype. So, you know, you guys will be getting the review soon. But I figured, you know, I can start off by at least acknowledging the project, because I mean, it is a product. I mean, hey. Just because, you know, there were certain interesting things that I wanted to talk about that I knew I wouldn't add into the album review, because I specifically want to talk about the album review. And then I want to talk about the rollout, and then I figured why not talk about the singles, and then why I felt she chose the singles how she did. Then we'll get into the nitty gritties of the Renaissance era, but I figure I'll break it up into different videos because I don't want to do like a 2-hour long video on Renaissance and it's just the music and we haven't even gotten the visuals yet. So, you know, I figured I'll, you know, spoon feed you all with Renaissance content, because I mean, if you couldn't tell, the House of Divinity loves Beyonce with all the videos that I've done on her. And yeah, B's my girl. So, and you know, I'm back into House of Divinity now, and I didn't want to go through this process without talking about Renaissance, you know, making her come back to this channel, because I kind of like fell off a little bit just because I've been working on like covers and musical stuff. And you know, I'm still figuring out like my system of creating content, but I want to get back into the flow of consistently putting out videos for the House of Divinity, because I do love talking about music. I do love doing breakdowns and analyzing the music and the lyrics and the production of projects and just stuff that goes on in the industry. And I want to do more content talking about things on the business side of the industry. So you'll see videos of that coming soon. I have a really interesting topic that I want to discuss. And you know, and I figured when I do these videos, I'm really, aside from catering to the people who are the fans of the artists that I'm discussing, like this is really for like musicians, people who are artists, people who get the industry, who like loves to watch interviews and hear about the behind the scenes of what goes on in the industry, like me, because I'm an artist and I'm also a business owner. I started and ran my own label that houses my own creative projects. So for me, I'm interested in all those things and I like to discuss those things, and I really don't have anybody to talk about that with. So I'm like, why not talk to my divine friends and family, you know? And of course, the people who gravitate towards this will gravitate towards it. Some videos you might like, some videos you might not, whatever. That's fine. I just wanted to, you know, talk about that real quick so you kind of get an understanding of how I wanted to flow some of this Renaissance content out. So without further ado, enough backstory, let's get into the singles review. As you can see, I got the alternative vinyl cover that Beyonce did, and I love this cover so much, honestly. I mean, I like it better than the actual cover of the album. No shade, Beyonce, don't come for me, Beehive. But you know, that's just my opinion. I felt like this should have been the cover of the album, but I like that she made it an exclusive thing and like a collector's piece, because your girl loves vinyls. Now, if she made it a color vinyl, that'd have been like the cherry on top. But I'm grateful, and I like that she has this. And you know, I want to get the collector's edition too, with the cover, the actual cover, but you know, with the booklet and the pictures and stuff. But you know, we're trying to budget out finances and stuff like that. So, you know, if I can get it, I can get it. But you know what I really want? I really want Solange's book. Solange just came out with a performance art like table, coffee table book. And Solange is my girl, so I'm like, and I have like a whole collector's thing of Solange merch, like when I get home, the DVD, the pictures, the plastic vinyl bag, the vinyl, the clear vinyl, and you know, I still gotta get my seat at the table stuff, but Solange is really my girl. Like, I love the Knowles girls for real, but you know, it's not like just a passive thing. Like, I really have been a fan of Solange for a long time, like since Soul Angel and the Hadley Street Dreams. You know, I've been a fan of her, and I just love watching her grow and evolve as an artist. And you know, as you see some of my art, like with my visual projects and just how I approach like styling and like aesthetics, it's very like inspired by Solange. Like, I will admit and say with no shame that I'm her son when it comes to aesthetics, because like she laid the blueprint. And of course, as I develop and grow over time, like I'll develop my own style, which I do. Like, I have my own style, you know, but you know, she kind of shifted and gave me a guide of how to kind of navigate how I would want my style to look. And of course, as artists, you know, you're always inspired by the people that come before you, and the more that you do a thing, the better that you get, and then the, you know, and eventually you add your own sauce and your own flavor to it. So anyway, side note, let's get into the singles. All right, so Renaissance, the album. The very first single on this album was Break My Soul. And how Beyonce announced this was really cool. Like, she changed her caption on IG, and it was just like 6 Break My Soul, the date and everything. And you know, I was so excited because like finally we're in a new Beyonce era. And of course we didn't know what to expect, because I was like, Break My Soul, why would she name it that? You know, I don't want nobody breaking my soul, you know. And you know, of course that's what the vibes was. So I remember when the song came out. Now, the song came out earlier than I thought it would, because I know it was supposed to come out at like midnight, and I think I got the notification because I subscribed and all of that. I got the text notifications from Beyonce. So Beyonce be texting me, you know, putting that out there in the universe that Beyonce texts me. Hey Parkwood being the blueprint of Neomac Entertainment and Saint Huron. So, you know, those girls love the blueprints for everything. Anyway, side note. So I had the text notifications and I signed up for, you know, turned on my notifications for YouTube. And I think I got the YouTube notification at like 11. So it wasn't even midnight yet. And the song was out. So I was like, oh, hold on. Let me put it on my TV so I can really hear it for real. Like, I can't just listen to the phone speakers. Like, we got to do the song justice. And when I first hear Big Freedia on the record, I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, Big Freedia on another Beyonce record. Not only was this another record of Beyonce's with Big Freedia, but Big Freedia being on the debut single of an album. Like, Big Freedia's voice was on Formation, for those who don't know. If you don't know, come on. But, you know, Big Freedia was on Formation, and Big Freedia was also on Break My Soul. And I knew it was a sample just because, like, I'm familiar with Freedia's music. And I watched Big Freedia's show, which is also great for any artist that's like curious of a process of, you know, building your own label and like really doing it independent. And then the process of seeing Big Freedia sign with different like managers and like working with a label. Like, it was interesting seeing Freedia's growth process as an artist. Through that show. So, I mean, it's great for entertainment, but it's also great, you know, for an artist, like, it's great for an artist wanting to learn the process of putting together a tour, putting a team together, you know, doing rehearsals and stuff like that. So, yeah, check that out. I think it's called Queen of Bounce. I forget the exact name, but you know me, I'll put it up here. So, Big Freedia's on the song, and I knew it was a sample of Freedia's song, so I was really excited to hear Freedia on the record. And then, you know, Beyonce comes in with the vocals, and, you know, and the beat, I was just like, okay, yes, it's giving house, it's giving upbeat. Now, for those who don't know, like, Jersey is big with house music, like Jersey club music, house music. You know, especially like North Jersey, because I was born in Newark, but I grew up in Trenton. And, you know, I have family in Newark. So growing up, you know, when I would take trips with my dad to go up to North, we would get like house mixes that people were selling and stuff like that. And, you know, and so house music was a part of like the culture. And it's not really something that I thought about. It was just something I remember growing up listening to. Like, you know, just hearing house music. My dad would listen to house music records in the car. And my cousin who I was living with, she would play house songs. And, you know, and I knew these records because we grew up listening to them. And so, you know, house music was a part of the culture as a Jersey girl. And, you know, and I know they have like house parties and stuff like that where they play exclusively house music. So the Jersey girl in me was so here for this single. And I knew it was something that was different for Beyonce. And I knew not everybody would, you know, be able to digest it. I was like, okay, this is a record for the gays. This is a record for anybody that's a fan of house music. Break My Soul came out in June because it was like in the middle of June, but it was right on time for Pride, because I remember going to Pride and they played this record throughout the parade, and it was dope and it was beautiful. It was beautiful to see. And you know what? I didn't post my Pride experience. So I edited that video a while ago, but I never posted it. I don't know why. So I'm gonna post that online. You know, I think I'll do that tonight, so then I'll be able to kind of like tag that in this video. But you know, Break My Soul was playing through Pride, and I hadn't been to Pride in years, but the last time I went to Pride was like maybe 2014 or something like that. And that was like Philly Pride. So I always wanted to go to Pride in New York. And so finally I went to Pride in New York. And, you know, I went by myself because I'm solo dolo these days, you know. And it was cool because I had a few things that I needed to get done while I was out and about there. And you know, when you travel by yourself, it's easier to move that way because sometimes some people don't want to go to every place that you want to go, and you gotta like worry about like, you know, keeping track of somebody, you know. And I mean, of course it's fun when you go with the right people and you have a good time and you get to explore and stuff like that. But me, I just enjoy traveling by myself. I like to do pretty much everything by myself these days, you know, because I know me and I usually do things with a plan and with intention. And so I know like, okay, I need to go here, I need to do this, this is the route that I want to go. And you know, and if there's changes of plans, it's easy for me to be able to maneuver. So anyway, side note, they were playing Break My Soul all through Pride, and I was so here for it. And then when Break My Soul came out, it sparked this whole conversation of like this resurgence of house music, because when Beyonce announced that she was coming out with music, Drake made a drop, and he dropped his whole album that same day. Literally the same day that Beyonce announced. I think she was announcing her album, and he dropped his album the same day. And so there was headlines everywhere, and of course everybody was talking about Beyonce's announcement. But right along with Beyonce was Drake, you know, because he dropped, not only did he drop this album, actually never mind, something like that. And I listened to the album, and I liked some of the album. Like, people were shitting on it because it was Drake, and it was like, what is this? He not rapping. Like, he trying to do dance music. He trying to be like Beyonce, this and that, you know. But I heard that in the clubs, people were listening to this album. And the thing was, it was trending on TikTok and Reels all the time. Like, people were using the sounds from this record. So, you know, and I enjoyed some of the songs. And, you know, not only was it dance music, but he had some, like, Jersey Club mixes in there. Yeah, just, like, some, like, good dance music. And at first, I didn't realize it was, like, some Jersey Club in there until, like, I saw Cookie Kwaib posting about it. And if y'all don't know her, y'all do. She had the viral hit, The Vibe record, in 2020 in the pandemic, but she has really good music, and she's been putting out music for a while. She's a Jersey artist, and she reps Jersey Club music, so shout out to Cookie. You know, and then also I think one of her most recent singles is Violin, so check that out. She shot that in Newark downtown, and yeah, here's just flying. So yeah, check her out. But you know, and she was saying like, you know, if Drake does a Jersey Club music, you know, she should be on there, and she should, because she's a Jersey artist. And you know, hello, if you're gonna do Jersey Club, you gotta have a Jersey Club artist. And honestly, I love to see Jersey Club music like trending these days, especially like, I forget the artist's name, but he did the that Are You Somebody Club Mix remix, and everybody's been doing like the dance to it, like the celebrities, people from the kid from Stranger Things. My bad for not knowing his name. I'm gonna put it up here. You know, I correct myself, you know what I'm saying, when I don't be having all the facts. But you know, so Jersey Club music is kind of getting out there. So there's this whole conversation about like, you know, dance music, and you know, everybody was talking about house music specifically because Beyonce came out with this record, Break My Soul. Full circle moment. You know, I went off on a tangent, but we back. You know, Beyonce came out with Break My Soul, and then Drake comes out with this album, and everybody's talking about house music and everything. And also another pointer that I mentioned in my Mariah Carey video, if you haven't seen that, check that out. It's a little lengthy, it's about almost like 2 hours long, but it's worth the watch. When I did my review on Butterfly, it was recently her 25th anniversary for the Butterfly album, and she has a song on there called Fly Away Butterfly Reprise, and it's kind of like this really pretty melodic breakdown of the Butterfly song, and then it kind of like turns into like a house mix. And then something that I said on there was that, you know, when I listened to the album with the intent to take notes and discuss it for a review, I was so used to hearing that song, but then when I really thought about it, I was like, you know what? This is a whole house mix record. And it's not the first time Mariah Carey's done that. Like, a lot of times what she'll do is she'll have a single and then she'll come out with EPs, like back in the day when EPs were basically like remixes of one song. And she would have a bunch of house mixes, and a lot of times she'll have David Morales do remixes of her records. So in this Butterfly 25th anniversary, she came out with a like revamped album with different songs and different mixes and stuff like that. So there was another David Morales remix who's been doing it for her for years. And then Amorphous, I hope I'm saying his name right. He's this up and coming DJ who's really popular for mixing really dope records together. Like all hits, no misses. His mixes are so good. And he's worked with so many people. I think he's worked with Brandy and Kelly Rowland, and he was on that record with Fat Joe, where he mixed Never Too Much and the Rihanna record. What song is that? Kiss It Better. You know, it was a dope mix, and you know, and he's been doing big things, but he also did a remix on Mariah Carey's album. So, you know, I just gotta, you know, shout out these up and coming artists that I feel like, you know, people are paying attention to. And I mean, they got more notoriety than me, but you know, I just love to show love. And you know, if I see talent out there, I'll big them up and, you know, try to plug them. And especially like if you're from Jersey, like, you know, I rep Jersey hard, you know. So, and you know, people can say whatever they want about me. Some folks in my hometown that be, you know, having their own beefs with me. I don't beef with people, but you know, for a period of time, like if I'm cool with you, I put you on, I share your music, I listen to your music. If I'm in a space where I'm able to curate something that elevates other artists in my area, that's what I'm about, and I do that. You know, like I was a part of this group one time where we would do newsletters, and you know, we did like a monthly playlist, and you know, throughout that whole playlist, I'm like, this is my chance to like really like show love and elevate artists that I know from Jersey, because there's so much talent here, and especially talent from my hometown. But you know, people be forgetting about that. But anyway, this is beside the point. Back to Break My Soul. So, but I just wanted to talk about the fact that there's this big resurgence on dance music, especially after the pandemic, after we've been like on lockdown, shut down for like the last year and some change. So now that things are a little bit more safer, and we're slowly but surely getting back to a space where people are out more, and you know, people aren't wearing the face mask as much, and we have a vaccine. You know, Beyonce said, you know, you said you outside, but you ain't that outside. You know, worldwide hoodie, but the mask outside. So we outside. Okay, we outside. Beyonce said be outside, so we outside. Sorry, y'all. I just had to piece that together because my battery was dying, my camera didn't stop, so I was like, all right, let me get my battery and life together before I record again. But, you know, we outside. So, we might as well be dancing, right? So here we are. You know, that was the whole thing about Break My Soul, and it created this whole conversation about house music and dance music and everything. And so everybody was saying like, oh, it's gonna be a house album, you know, and all these things. I'm not gonna dive too much into the album because I want to do a separate video on that. But before the album came out, there was so much conversation about it being dance music and house music. And surprisingly, Break My Soul was the only house sounding record on that album. But also another good point that I almost forgot to mention was that Big Freedia is a bounce artist. And bounce music, for those who don't know, is really big in New Orleans. And it's kind of like a similar vibe to house music or even like Jersey club music, where you kind of like have that you know, you have that like sound, the chorus on a loop. It's just like the beat is a very particular beat for that genre. And I thought it was interesting that Beyonce put together house music and bounce music together with that record, sampling Big Freedia, but then also sampling Robin S., Show Me Love. So You know, and that was another thing too. And shout out to Robin S., who is a pioneer and a legend, especially in house music. And you know, Beyonce gave her flowers, literally and figuratively, you know, with sampling her, and then her kind of like going viral, and then all these people talking about her, and, you know, revisiting her music because Beyonce sampled her. So that was everything that I wanted to talk about with Break My Soul. It was an instant favorite for me. I loved the record, and you know, I was twerking in my room when I heard it instantly, especially when I heard Big Freedia and then I heard the beat. I was just up dancing, and I had it on repeat. And, you know, and I will say it's a single that hasn't gotten old for me. Like, when it comes on the radio, I'm still like a bop. And, you know, usually I try to avoid singles because sometimes, you know, because it's going to be played out, I usually gear towards like the B-side records. So I'm glad that that was a single that didn't, you know, like, I was like, oh okay, this is a single type of song. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. I should have said that in the beginning, but we're going to say it now. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to this page. You know, if you feel in House of Divinity, if you love these types of breakdowns, let me know. If you want to argue with me in the comments about my opinion, go for it. You know, send it to your friends, cuss me out in the comments if you want to, whatever, that's fine. Actually, no, come with a little respect. You know, I mean, you ain't gotta agree with me, but come correct. But, you know, share this, like, comment, turn on your notifications, because when I talk about the review of the whole album, we gonna really get into some things. So make sure you do that. And then also another plug, you know, I do have my Divine merch going on right here. You know, I got the hats. So for the Divine friends and family, if you want to rock the Divine merch, we got some dope stuff, especially because on the East Coast, fall, I mean, it's going to be fall everywhere, but on the East Coast, you really feel it because it's starting to get chilly and all that. We got hoodies, okay? And let me tell you something. These hoodies are so soft. And I was very adamant about that because the first time I started doing like drop shipping and stuff like that, I was just winging it, figuring it out. And my first group of like t-shirts was like a little bit rough, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay, me as a consumer, I love soft materials. I like stuff that feels comfortable, stuff that I would actually wear regardless of the fact that I'm trying to sell it. You know, because I'm an entrepreneur and an artist, and you know we gotta get the prosperity flowing. But this time around, with the experience that I have, I was very adamant about making sure the products that I had were good, and I had samples for at least a year before I even released the collection. So I was sitting on these designs for a while before I even had these out. So that's how you know I'm really putting time and care and integrity and love into the products before I give it to you all. So be sure to check out the website and get you some Divine merch, especially the hoodies. They're so soft, and it's not too heavy, it's not too light. It's going to keep you nice and snug, especially going into the fall. And if you want to layer it up, you know what I'm saying, there's ways you can jazz it up, dress it up, or you know, you could just be on your chill your cozy vibes, you know what I'm saying. If you want to be cozy, comfortable in your skin, make sure you get Divine Femme. I don't know, I was trying to make a bar out of that. Either way, check out the merch. And we also got mugs too, so I know y'all want to be sipping your tea and your hot cocoa and your coffee in this season, or your pumpkin spice. You know, when you sip your pumpkin spice, you want to be sipping out of a cup that's nice. Get your Divine mugs, okay? Okay. Okay. Anyway, so that concludes my review. This ended up being a little bit longer than I wanted it to be. I was like, oh, this is good. It's gonna be a quick little video. Mind you, I didn't even get into the album. So hopefully, a lot of the points that I was gonna mention in my album review, I said in this video. So that's why this ended up being a little longer. Because, you know, I go on my tangents and, you know, talk about how it's affecting culture and, you know, what's happening in society when these records come out and stuff like that. So hopefully my album review isn't that long. Okay, we'll see. Okay, we're gonna see. But if you've gotten this far, put like some blue hearts and some horsies in the comments. You know, for the blue horse. And you know, put that in the comments if you've gotten this far, and let me know you a real one. You really a part of the Divine Friends and Family. You a part of the Divine Crew. Let me know. And for anybody getting their merch, you know, when you get your orders in and you receive your products, make sure you take pictures of them and post it on social media and tag me so I can tag you and, you know, brag about how you a part of the Divine Family. And, you know, and how other people is missing out because they ain't got the fly merch like us. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, make sure you do that. Make sure you take your pictures in your Divine merch. I would love to see that. It's your girl, Nerese. Thank you for spending your time in this corner of YouTube at the House of Divinity. Again, make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe, share with your homegirl, your homeboy, your home human. Okay, because I know I ain't the only one with this opinion. You know, granted, I do have, you know, some opinions that I don't really see too often. But, you know, I like to share my perspective and have a conversation. So let me know. Do you agree with what I said? Did you think that this was going to be the next single? Let me know in the comments below, okay? And I'll be sure to check it out and respond. And, of course, subscribe, turn on your notifications. And I wish you all have the blessed rest of your day. A blessed rest of your day. It's your girl, Nerese, and I'm outie.